My name is Ben Butler. I'm a sculptor, and I've been in Memphis for almost 5 years now. And I make sculpture and drawings. My sculpture is primarily wood. And I think that I always made things, but I didn't call myself an artist really until I graduated from college. I think I'm very curious, and I had a lot of interest for a long time. And in college I found art as the best discipline or medium for me to incorporate all my interests. My interest in natural sciences and math and music and visual art. So I think my art is the kind that is about curiosity and setting up projects for myself to see what happens. A tool that I use, or a technique that I use, that I need is to set up restrictions for myself, often a lot of restrictions, or very narrow parameters for making something, for cutting pieces of wood or making marks or accumulating pieces of wood. And I find that what that does is it prohibits me from making certain kinds of decisions and relying on things that I've seen before or making obvious decisions. And it's a tool I use to help me surprise myself and hopefully surprise the viewer. And I think over the years I've circled back and become more interested in the natural sciences and mathematics, and how different people in different disciplines try to describe the world. I think in general my work is about how things are made or how things come into being physically, how a form comes to be, and specifically how natural forms are different from human-made forms because of basically how our brains work and how we conceptualize things. And so I think when you look at human objects, they bear some hallmark of the human mind that's instantly recognizable, and everything that is non-human has something other that we try to understand through science and math and art. And I think that my process of limitation, working with systems that generate forms, is a way of mimicking not the forms of nature, but certain processes in nature that might render something unpredictable or complex or surprising or all of those things. Every artist makes work about the way they see the world and their unique understanding of the world. And when I look at the world, I see things, I see objects as not as static objects, but as evidence of some process. Things are always coming into being, growing, decaying. Even things like stones that are seemingly very static are undergoing various processes all the time. And I think that's something that I try to put in my work, to reveal some unseen force, to give the sense that this thing came into being over time, is existing in time, to give some hints about its making, not just what the object is, but how it was made, by what, or by whom, and maybe why.
Okay, my name is Nick Pena. This piece is titled What Lies Beneath Slow Creep. This is from a series that I've been working on in regards to family, or cookie cutter family, or nuclear family, and some of the troubles that are inherent in those labels, because we're all a little bit different and our structure changes, specifically in today's society, specifically in America too. So what lies beneath is a psychological questioning of that structure. The slow creep part of the title is an indicator that relates to soil creep, which is basically akin to a landslide, but it's very, very slow. So it's this uneasy or subtle shifts beneath the surface, beneath the cookie cutter house that is family. My painting starts very conceptually. I do a lot of research beforehand, a lot of research in what we consider to be the right model or the right path for the pursuit of happiness, whether it be in Memphis or whether it be in the middle of America, in the plains of Iowa. And that's the thing that sparks the idea of what are we supposed to fit into, and how do we each embody that family model. So a lot of research online, a lot of images that are going through, a lot of Google searches happen. And then the changes within the landscape, these different perspectives that you're seeing, are just also a visual symboling for the complexities that is American landscape. So the background that you're seeing is similar to Romantic landscape painting from the early 1900s, which is something that America's artist foundations are in, and many people still respond to those in a very nostalgic way. That's something that's been prominent in my work because it's that nostalgia that is American, I believe. That Romantic landscape still has a lot of power. The bottom, which is what's supposed to be underneath, is that contrast. It's the abstraction, the modern painting, but at the same time, it's this disruption. It's this pattern disruption, and that's the thing that's causing the landslide, or the slow landslide. And then the center part, which is the foundation of the house, is floating. It is together, but at the same time, it's slowly moving. So I see this as a balancing act between the two, between past nostalgic views of where we are, and then these abstract unknowns that lie beneath. Well, I first thought of being an artist when I was an undergraduate. That first year I was offered a basketball and baseball scholarship at college, and I started to realize that I wasn't going to be the next Spud Webb, and that I'd always enjoyed art, so I decided that I would submit portfolios to different schools. And I was accepted into 3, and I got a scholarship to 1. So it was at that point that I started taking it serious. Before, it was always just a hobby, and I'm pretty competitive, so I was actually always thought that my older brother was a better drawer than I was, and that's where the inspiration started to happen, was to be better than my brother.